Thanks for tuning into A Better World. I'm your host, Luis Acevedo, and be sure to subscribe to the blog at loseview.blogspot.com. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the similarities between 1984 and what's happening in real life. I know a lot of people have already made comparisons to 1984 and America for a long time, especially with the cameras in public places and, spyware for the government on our phones and tracking data, especially with Google saying that they're going to utilize the data that they've collected to track the spread of COVID-19. And things, have been looking very dystopian like for a while, but now with this COVID-19, it is becoming more evident to people everywhere that there are a lot of things going on in which we should not be condoning. However, given the circumstances, we're sort of coerced by fear to give up some of our liberties. Um, you know, what I wanted to speak about specifically is the interview Bill Gates did with CBS or CBC, something like that, where he basically said that we shouldn't have mass gatherings until everybody's vaccinated. That way we can ensure the reduction in spread of the COVID-19. And this is coming from the guy who is the leading technocrat and literally said we need to depopulate the earth to combat climate change. And the way to do that is through vaccinations to basically make you sterile. My first thought when I'm hearing a billionaire and a guy of, the status of Bill Gates is Kingsman. The movie Kingsman. It's a little eerie, I mean, in that movie, it's definitely exaggerated, but it reminds you of it in some ways, If you haven't seen the movie, watch it. You'll get what I'm referring to when I say that. But the vaccination is honestly the probably secondary issue. The primary issue, in my opinion, is the restriction of social gatherings to reduce crowd sizes. Now, I know social distancing, quarantining is a very good way to reduce the spread of diseases. However, it's also a really good way to prevent people from protesting against measures that they may not agree with. And we're seeing this being taken to the extreme in New York, where you have video footage of drones flying across parks saying, please disperse, no large gatherings, prevent COVID-19. And then you have Rhode Island, where they are literally knocking on doors to see who's from New York that have fled there to escape that little bubble that's exploding with COVID-19 right now. And you also have the paddleboarder in California getting arrested for simply paddleboarding by himself in the ocean. There was a father in Colorado who got handcuffed while at a park with his daughter. These things are just getting ridiculous, and without the ability to gather with a large amount of people, it reduces our ability to protest these measures. Now we have the, benefit of technology. We can utilize that to spread the word and make people aware of the severity of the issue. But, we're probably not going to get back a lot of these liberties. If we just look at 9/11, we lost a lot. And now we're going to lose even more. You have South Korea talking about providing everybody with a wristband to start tracking the COVID-19. That is similar to a Brave New World. And it's very interesting times we're living in. And we just need to be willing to draw the line somewhere. We can't let them go all the way. And right now, this is what they're testing. The government is what I'm referring to when I say they. I literally mean the government. The federal government is testing, and state governments are testing the boundaries, seeing how far they can go without sparking a riot, a revolution of some sort. Now you couple this with the economic downturn that's happening, it makes for a real disaster. So part of me wants to believe that the enforcement of social distancing is not only to prevent the spread of the disease, but to prevent the spread of protest once everybody truly feels the economic calamity that is happening in the United States. Trying to get ahead of it, if you will. But, yeah, we're living in strange times. But, like I stress, we cannot despair. We have God on our side. He will lead us through this. We're told times like these are going to happen. And I am a strong believer that we will come out stronger. In the end after this. So remember, pray, get close with your families, start growing your own food. Those food shortages are coming, and they are here right now, but they're only going to get worse. And with inflation kicking in, some people aren't going to be able to afford food. So these things are something to be conscientious of. And do not despair. Always have hope. Always. God is by our side always. You can talk to him at any time. I really, really think that we should start reacquainting ourselves with God and, Jesus Christ, the man who died on the cross for our sins. I saw this brief interview from a church somewhere. I can't think of where the location was, but the CNN reporter came up to this woman who was driving to church. She was in a line waiting, in the parking lot to make her entrance. And he asked her if she was worried about spreading disease or getting in. And her response was, I go to the grocery store every day. I go to these places every day. And yet you're not there asking me if I'm worried about if I'm going to spread the disease or if people are going to, infect me with the disease. But I'm coming here, I'm covered in Jesus' blood. So that's why I'm not worried about it. I'm covered in Jesus' blood. That is something that I think we should that mindset we should embody. Now that isn't to say we should be careless or reckless. We should obviously take precautions and be rational in our approach to things, because diseases are real. This is killing people, but it's not as bad as other diseases. And this is just a perfect scapegoat to downplay the size of the economic calamity coming our way. It's the severity of the economic calamity coming our way. And multiple other things, and but keep our heads up, no despair, get close with family, pray to God, grow your own food. Things will be good. Things will be real good. I know I'm probably sounding a little retarded at the moment, and not putting my thoughts or words together properly. I only got like 4 hours of sleep last night, so yeah. But if you guys like what you hear, be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.